Well, at the time, I actually was living in a hotel with the kids. You know, just being in that one room was just so congested. I just started crying, and he's like, you know, I can help you. You know, do you trust me? All you have to do is massages. It started out, he told me all I had to do was nude massaging. And I'm like, you know, at first I was a little like, I don't know, like, I don't think I can do that. And then he's like, here, let me just post something. So he posted the ad, and pretty much within a few minutes, calls started coming in. He's really smooth, like he can talk, like he knows what to say quickly to a person, like how to get that person zoned in on him.
I was actually 14, and basically my brother's ex-fiance went and said, hey, you know, you can make some extra cash. Of course, what 14-year-old doesn't want to make some extra cash? Come on now. It was a give or take, like, hey, why not? Forget it. Like, I can buy more things that my parents can't buy. I just want to do something new.
And these people provided him with all new clothing, latest styles, brand new shoes, and they provided everything that Jeffrey could want: food, a place to live. They bought him cell phones. All the cell phones they gave him, though, had GPS tracking devices in them, so they knew where he was at all times. They had stalked our family during this time that we didn't realize they were doing that. They were looking at our Facebook pages. They were looking at us to find out information about us that they could use against Jeffrey. So I kind of call this all part of the grooming process and everything. But they were basically telling him that don't worry about your sisters. They're on my side. They're my friends.
He started saying, well, you need to upsell, you can make more money. This is nothing. Like, you need to upsell and do other things and get out quicker. So he was talking about more sexual relations. And that's kind of at that point where it started to take, you know, that kind of turn.
You're thinking that, oh, you're in love with somebody, and then out of nowhere, he just got real abusive. It was, you got to bring this amount of money home. You have to do this and you have to do that. And it was super hard because being 18, almost 19, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand it.
It's the same with sexual assaults. It isn't about sex. It's definitely about power. So usually when a trafficker gets a hold of a victim, especially if it's a younger victim, they'll try to desensitize them to sex and have sex with them and have them have sex with multiple partners to desensitize them. And it's definitely about power. Once that person's been desensitized and they can use them more as a piece of property, so to speak, what the trafficker does is that is the power that they have over them. And that power, that they use that power to make money. And the means of controlling them is going to be this power. And there's a lot of things that go in with that power, including physical violence, mental power. And then they're keeping them for the act. And the act is the sexual exploitation that's going to make them money.
And, you know, once you're in it, then you're stuck. Like, you done fell in love with him. It destroys a woman's mind, like, because you think he love you, so you get to questioning, like, dang, like, if he loved me, then why he got me selling myself?
I mean, even, I guess, after he would, like, beat me up, he would, pick me up and I'm sorry, and then be nice for a couple hours, So it just was always like, you just always felt like you were walking on eggshells and never really knew what was going to happen next, There's no stability. You're constantly moving hotel to hotel.
He came to save me. She came to save me. She made my life a lot better. And his words, or her words, expressive to you, is telling you just that. Where would you be if I didn't come and get you? When you didn't have nothing, I was the only one there for you. I listened to you. You don't have to be in that house over there in the hood no more. You don't have to sleep in abandoned buildings. You don't have to be in abusive relationships. I'm here for you.
Some of our clients and survivors have said it was the money. It was the money that I was addicted to. They didn't receive the money, but they had a lifestyle built around the ability to earn a lot of money in a very short amount of time.
It started like the first few times he let me have some of the money, to within a few weeks, as soon as you would get in the car, he would put his hand out and you got nothing. You handed him all the money. So at that point, it was when it was a little more aggressive. So the fear of, I didn't know what he was going to do to me.
And it became, this is the only way I can survive. I'm young, I have no way to get a job, no way to eat. It became a survival thing. And then you get so caught up in that fast life and the speed and the excitement and the money, but you don't realize what you're losing around you. I watch people lose their lives.
I had so much stuff that I left behind, and I put, what I could in storage that day. And I had a friend who took my kids. I dropped my kids off with a friend. On the way to Vegas, he would stop, get a room, and there was 3 of us on the way to Vegas and make us all work. He used to say that it was because when you put a new ad up with new faces, new girls, the regular guys would want to meet the new girls coming into town.
They're just going from city to city to try to make as much money as they possibly can. Many times, if it's an underage escort, they're missing, and there's bulletins out for them, and police are looking for them, social workers, family. So that's why many times they'll just get a stock photo from the internet and put it on for their ad.
So what we end up seeing is that at 17, 18, 19, that's when the young people start to recognize that, whoa, maybe this is not what I signed up for. And we know market-wise that their value starts to drop off towards their late teens too, is that the desire is for younger people and they can make more money. And so they're no longer the most viable commodity. They become less and less important to those who are exploiting them. And by that time, it becomes a more tragic story, and they start to slip into more depression, substance abuse.
It's 7 attempts normally to leave before the real attempt is made to stay out of the game, because everything keeps pulling you back. Every time there's a lack or deficiency in funding, or finances, or money to get what I want, well, guess what? I know I can call Jim, and he's good for $500. I can go to the dance club for a weekend and get my money for school. All those things pull you back into the life.
Like he said, one time he was in an alley and he was debating if he should go and either call us or get help or turn himself into the police station, say I need help, or hospital or something. And he was about to, but then these guys came and got him.
My son died on September 30th, 2016. You plan this special moment to grieve your child and to, it's horrible what happened to him, but it's the moment you want to cherish with them, the last moment you have, and to have these people come and take that away from you is really painful.